I don't know if there's a moral to this, but this is a true story. People get weird and touchy, and they like to make a point. Okay, now I'm sure anybody here, whatever your points you want to make, 100% I'm behind you. You're wonderful, wonderful people. I'm very glad of that. I did have an incident around a year ago at a fast food place on Hamilton Mountain. I'm not going to say its name because if every one of these places burned down tomorrow, I would not shed a tear. But my kids want curly fries every so often, so we went. We go in for curly fries, and it's February when this happened. So it's wet, it's miserable, it's gray. It's a Saturday afternoon. There were maybe 10, 15 people in this place. And all I'm thinking about is, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to get some fries, some gravy, a couple of drinks. My kids are going to eat this, and then we're going to take a drive someplace that is slightly less depressing than a fast food place on Hamilton Mountain in February. That's all I'm thinking about. I walk in, I leave my kids at a table, I go to the counter, I go, yeah, can I get 2 curly fries, please, and 2 sides of gravy, and 2 bottles of apple juice? 2 bottles of apple juice, and, because I'm over 50, give me a cherry Pepsi. What the hell? YOLO. They get all this together, they put it onto a tray. So I take everything with the tray, I'm heading towards the napkins, and with the grace and skill of a cat, I trip. So the apple juice are fine, they're in bottles. My Pepsi hits the floor just in front of where the napkins and the condiments are held. And as this happens, there's a woman behind the counter. She looks at it, she kind of rolls her eyes, disappears into the kitchen. I've managed to save the fries somehow. So I take them to my kids. I go back to where I've dropped everything, and it's not that bad. I mean, it's a large drink, but it's also February, so the floors are already in a horrible, horrible shape. So I go down, I've got some napkins, I'm dabbing it up as much as possible, and I take them and drop it in the garbage can. Second batch, do it. Just finishing up the third, and this woman comes out of the kitchen, and she's got a bucket and a mop, and she sees me, and I hold up the last napkins, I go, okay, sorry, drop in the garbage, looks at the floor, looks at me, and just kind of says, kind of smiles, and then starts to go back in the kitchen. That's fine. Except there's a guy sitting relatively close to us, early 60s, heavy set, he's wearing a hockey jacket. The date on the hockey jacket says 86. So maybe he played back in the day. And I hear him say, "You're not going to say thank you?" So I look at him, I'm about to explain, well, actually, I dropped it myself and I've cleaned it myself and she didn't do anything. I realize he's not looking at me. He's looking at her. And he says, "Not saying thank you. Is it because he's white?" Did I mention I went in there with one objective? Fries, drink, gravy. I didn't notice anything else, especially not the fact that the woman who came out of the kitchen has a skin tone 3 or 4 shades darker than mine. I have no idea what her nationality is. I know that this guy is about to make a point about white man's burden, and it's because I dropped a drink. I have given him the opportunity to do this. And I'm standing there, I'm thinking, how do I articulately and politely say, "Excuse me, sir, firstly, I believe that the entire impetus of your comment has stemmed from me, and secondly, what the hell? What is wrong?" I can't be articulate with this. In the background, 2 or 3 people are picking up their phones and putting them like this. So not only have I spurred the white man burden speech, I'm also going to be on the Twitter clip with everybody else. I'm not happy about this. I'm trying to think as quickly as possible. How do I say something to shut him up? How do I say something to say, this has nothing to do with her, this is me, what's wrong with you, and so on and so on and so on. I don't have to. In the time it's taken me to figure out le mot juste to deal with this guy, another guy comes out of the kitchen. Same vintage, kind of early 60s, also kind of heavy set, wanders to the front door of the restaurant and yanks it open loudly. Looks at the guy and says, "This is private property, you can go now." Guy looks at him and says, "I'm a paying customer." "Yeah, you're a paying customer. You paid for your food, you've eaten your food, we gave you your food. This is private property, you can leave now." Every time the dude in the hockey jacket tried to speak, I can have my opinion. You can have any opinion you want. This is private property. You can leave now. He completely, the manager or the owner or the chef, whoever the guy was, completely knocked the wind out of the guy in the hockey jacket because he was expecting a lecture or to be thrown out pointedly or to be yelled at. Manager's not doing anything like that. He's just saying, this is private property. You can leave. This is private property. You can leave. Everybody in the restaurant goes from this to, I wonder if anyone called me today? The wind is out of his sails. He walks out very quietly. Around 45 seconds later, no one looks at him. It's like he has never been there. My kids are kind of baffled by this. I walk up to the guy who is the chef or the owner or the manager, and I said, I'm so sorry, this is my fault. I flipped my drink. He just held his hand up and said, that is the least part of what this guy is about. And goes back in the kitchen. I don't know what to do. I can see him talking to this woman in the kitchen. She doesn't look upset. She looks tired. Like maybe this is the second or third time this has happened from this particular dude. I don't know. Do I go in the kitchen and apologize to her? Do they just want to walk away from this? Am I going to make things worse? What do I do? I forgive me. I left. I thought, okay, less contact at this point, the better. Mea culpa. I don't know if there's a moral to this story other than the fact that people are going to take very, very different ideas from what came out of it. I went to work a couple of days later and told the same story to someone. They went, oh yeah, wow, that's something. Hey, what's the nationality of the owner? I said, I think he's Canadian. Full stop. And that's my 5 minutes. Thank you, everybody.